Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to talk all about books. It is a bookish day. We are going to be diving into my reading plans for April, updating my reading journal that I have left neglected since January, and I did a huge library book haul as well, so we're going to be talking about all those books and then reorganizing this area over here. So grab a cup of tea, find a comfy spot, and let's jump into the world of books. So this very long library list here says that I took out 31 books. My library is not one of those libraries that says how much money you've saved by using it. I wish it did, because I think I'd probably be in the thousands by now. But it says 31, but honestly, more than half of them were kid books. So that doesn't really count. Let's dive in. I probably won't read all of these. The way I do my library hauls basically is I usually go to the library. I go to the library a lot, but I'll usually go like once a month with the intention of just taking out a ton of books. And this is where I kind of switch out ones that maybe I was borrowing and I didn't want to read anymore. And so I'll go and take out a bunch of them, knowing that I probably won't read all of them, but I just put the ones in my bag that sound interesting. Because it's not very often that I have like a 2-hour block of time just to walk around and find a bunch of books. So this worked for me. So that's why you'll see an obnoxious amount. And as far as I know, my library doesn't have a limit to how many books you can take out. I think some do. If mine does, they haven't told me about it. So I'm just doing what I'm doing. I didn't have a plan with the books I was taking out today. There weren't many books that I was looking for specifically. There was one that I had on hold, which was Once Upon a Broken Heart. I do want to read this, and I will end up reading within the near future because it's on hold and it took me a while to get it, which means someone else is probably waiting for it. So I only think I have it for a few more days. So this one I will be reading shortly. All right, and then next I picked up Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. I honestly have no idea what this is about. The cover is very pretty. I've seen it around. I've seen people pick it up. So I think for the most part, I haven't seen anything bad about it. And it's a Reese's Book Club, and since First Sly Wins was also a Reese's Book Club, and I really enjoyed First Sly Wins, I think I trust the stamp for now. So we'll see if this one meets the cut. I just felt like the cover was very springy, so I feel like it was an appropriate time. All right, what's next? This one is The Scandalous Confessions of Lydia Bennet, Witch. So basically it is from the point of view of Lydia Bennet, the sister in Pride and Prejudice, and basically in this point of view, she is a witch. And so it's her point of view of like Pride and Prejudice and what happened before, during, and after the scene of Pride and Prejudice, and also how she's dealing with keeping everyone under wraps, and then how she's dealing with being a witch during this time. I'd never heard of this one before, but I saw it and I love Pride and Prejudice. I thought this was a really cute kind of spin-off. Then we have A House Unsettled. I picked this one up purely for the cover, just the cover. I hate book jackets. I find them to be so annoying, and that's one of my least favorite things about taking out library hardbacks is that they have book jackets. And so usually when they don't, I end up taking them home because I just really like the covers. This one's basically about a girl named Asha who moves into an old house that was her aunt's with her mom, and the house is essentially like haunted. So it's just following her as she's dealing with the haunted house, and then there's a neighbor whose name is Cole who doesn't believe in ghosts, but she's like and not like a little ghost, like a ghost that's like sitting on her chest, choking her in the middle of the night, footsteps, like a demon type ghost thing. So I think this one will be interesting, a little scary, but I liked the cover so much that I figured it was worth picking up. All right, then we have The Last Thing He Told Me by Laura Dean. I've also heard really good things about this one, and again, got that sticker. So saw it that it was available. I had put it on hold a while ago, and then I think it came up and it wasn't a good time, so I let it lapse, but I saw that it was available, so I just grabbed it. I'm not sure if I'll read this one this month, but it is a thriller type book. And in this one, we're following our main character, Hannah, whose husband Owen disappears, and she's left with a note that says protect her, which is about Owen's daughter. So it's her stepdaughter, following her as she's figuring out who Owen actually was, because she's finding out that he's not the person who he said he was. So this one seems interesting. I'm just gonna take them all out, put them in a pile here. All right, then we have The Maid. I think this one was popular a long time ago. Someone recommended it to me, and honestly my library had like 5 copies of it, so that tells me that a while ago it was probably pretty popular, not so much now. I know there is a second one. I don't know what it's called, but I know it's blue. And so I believe this is a mystery type book. It was recommended to me, so I picked it up when I saw there was a bunch of copies. All right, and this one is Murder and Mammon. So we are following our main character whose aunts run a laundromat, and they essentially find one of their nieces dead in the laundromat. So as our main character, Lila, is unsolving this mystery, she realizes that her aunts or her godmothers are not really who they seem, and they've got some lies that they're hiding as well, and that could be why the niece was found murdered in the laundromat. So honestly, one of the reasons why I picked this one up was because it was pretty short. Not that a short book equals a better book, but I've read a lot of books lately that I felt didn't need to be as long as they were, and so I kind of appreciated that this one just is what it is. So I'm looking forward to this one. Slow Horses by Mick Herron. This one was also recommended to me. This book is old. I guess now it's a TV show, but it is old. Mick Herron, I think, has a zillion books. And it is a series. I know this book starts off with basically the slow horses in this book are MI5 spies, which I think is like James Bond. So they're called slow horses because they're either old or they messed up or something. So they're essentially just living out their career in this place called Slough House. And so I think it just kind of follows these MI5 people solving a mystery or a murder or something like that. But it came highly recommended, so I figured since I saw it, I would check it out. And I do really like when books are made into shows because I like to compare them. That was it for all of the fiction books I picked up. I purposefully did not pick up any romance. If you saw my March Madness wrap-up video, you know that I'm kind of taking a break from that for a little while, so I stayed clear of that today when I went to the library. And then next we have a book of poetry, which is new for me. I don't usually pick up a book of poetry, but I'm trying to expand what I'm reading a little bit more. What a good quality book is different for everyone. For me, I didn't feel like I was starting to dip towards more lower quality books that I was just a number to read essentially. It was just a book to read a book and not an enjoyable experience. So I'm just trying to broaden my horizons of what I'm reading. So this is a book of poems. It's called Ink Knows No Borders, and it's a book of poems about the immigrant and refugee experience. I read a couple when I was in the library and I actually really enjoyed it. So I'm really looking forward to this. I think there are, so 64 poems. I'm not sure how many different authors there are. Like, I'm not sure if the authors double up or if it's many of the same ones over and over again. But I thought it would be a very interesting point of view. So I'm excited to read this. The rest were nonfiction. So first I picked up All That Is Wicked. This one I actually did kind of look for. This is by Kate Winkler Dawson. So she is the same person that wrote American Sherlock from last month, which I really enjoyed. I'm not sure what she covers in this one. Let's see. It says, a Gilded Age story of murder and the race to decode the criminal mind. So probably pretty similar to American Sherlock, but I figured since I want to read more nonfiction this year and I enjoyed American Sherlock, that this would be a good place to start. Then we have Slow Productivity by Cal Newport. I'm at the library, I just go through my Goodreads want to read, and I saw this one on there and I saw that my library had it. So picked it up. I'm really not sure what it's about. I'm really interested in the idea. Oh, Ali Abdal's on the back of this. That's legit. I didn't know that. So yeah, this one's probably pretty good then. Last one is The Core. This one's about classical education. It's something that I'm interested in. My daughter is way too young to even start anything like this, but it's one of those things that it's piqued my interest, so I want to learn more about it to see, what classical education is about. I think this is primarily for people who want to homeschool, but I'm really not sure. I just noticed it when I was in the children's section, so I picked it up. All right, now that we have got all the library books, let's figure out how to organize them. So basically I have this cart here that holds books. And then I also have these like wall mount shelves here that need a little bit of help. So I want to go ahead and just reorganize everything and just kind of make it look nice. So the way I did this was kind of putting the fantasy books and the sci-fi books all together with my thrillers. Then I put my romance and classics together, and then just some more fantasy over here on the side. Then over here I've got my TBR, so The Atlas 6, 7 Days in June, and Once Upon a Broken Heart, and Sherlock Holmes, and my poetry book. Those are all the books I really want to read this month. On the bottom I have my parenting and nonfiction books all together. Parenting kind of first, then it moves into the nonfiction, and then the thriller and mysteries go after that, and then just the general fiction, then some more thriller and mysteries on the side. Alright, so let's update this reading journal. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I had a reading journal, I made it in January, and I just don't have that kind of time. So what I did was I have this printable that I made a while ago, and I'm just going to fill out this printable and use that as kind of my reading tracker for the month. In the season that I'm in, although I would love to have a completed reading journal, it's just not realistic. So this one tracker is really just what I'm going to use for this year. I decided that I wanted to color code the books based on how I read them. So pink is audiobook, yellow is ebook, and then green is a physical book, just so I can keep track of the different types of books I'm reading. And then I actually have this happy planner that I use for just general. So I have my reading goals there on the side, and then I have my reading tracker there, and that's pretty much the extent of my reading journal this year. But I actually really like it. It's simple and it works for me. Alright, so that is everything. Hopefully you all enjoyed this bookish day. Really happy I was able to organize those shelves because that's been driving me crazy. But I will link the reading tracker that I use for my reading journal down below. Make sure you like this video and let me know in the comments below what you do on your bookish days. I love hearing all about it. You subscribe so you stay up to date on all of my content. I post videos every single week, and I would love to see you stick around. Hope you found your next great read and enjoyed a bookish day. I'll see you next time. Cheers!